Griffon Update is our student-produced digital magazine show bringing you news, sports, and information from Missouri Western State University and the surrounding region. During each program, we will present an in-depth look at the people, places, and events that make Missouri Western and the Northwest region of Missouri a great place to call home.
Hello and welcome to Griffon Update. I'm Mackenzie Bose.
And I'm Morgan Doyle. On today's show, we'll be laughing alongside comedian Marlon Wayans, zooming in on the life of one of our outstanding students, and talking about the new addiction in gaming.
We'll also be featuring student mothers who juggle the responsibilities of having a family as well as keeping up with their classes.
And last but not least, Bailey Ketchum will join us with her sports report.
Okay, Morgan, please tell me that you are not one of those students obsessed with the new game Fortnite.
Well, I'm not very good, but I do admit to playing once or twice.
Of course you do. I mean, I played NBA 2K all the time, but I don't have time for another obsession.
I'm not really obsessed at all, but there are some people who play 24/7.
Yeah, I do not have time for that.
It's not necessarily wasting your time if you played on a boring bus ride, though.
What are you talking about?
Well, sports teams have started playing it on their rides to games in order to occupy their time.
Please tell me you're joking.
I'm not joking. I caught up with a few people and they tell me how real the addiction is. Check out what they had to say.
I have a purple rocket launcher now.
If you haven't heard of it already, chances are you will pretty soon. Fortnite is sweeping the nation and becoming an obsession from middle school to college-aged boys everywhere, including here at Missouri Western. Avid player Graham Burrish gave a quick rundown of the game.
You run around, there's 100 people in a game, try to kill everyone else until you're the last person standing. You got solo, duo, and squad. You know, I spend most of my time on solo. That's where I get most of my wins. There's also a new rocket launcher game where it's only rocket launchers and grenade launchers. I've been playing that a lot too.
Burrish prides himself on having around 50 wins, but squad and duo games are just as enticing to players Alex Batista and Brandon Kolner.
I like the teamwork that it comes with. Even though I'm the one doing most of the job, I would carry the team. No, you don't. Lies! I carry the team.
Epic Games' Fortnite can be played for free on Xbox One, PlayStation, or PC. It also recently came out on mobile. And while the game may be a more male-populated hobby, Kylie Lineberry broke barriers and downloaded it on her iPhone.
Well, I heard a bunch of the guys talking about it. I'm like, I might as well try it out, and I'm not good at it. Way different. The controls are like all on one screen, not just like all on a controller.
The main reason that the game is so addictive is not just the fact that it's free, but because it allows players to compete with others, both in the game and in the real world, as they try to rack up the most wins. So much so that the baseball team will even take their consoles with them on road trips and play in hotels. However, that obsessiveness doesn't come without a price.
Fortnite, it's a disaster. It ruins sleeping habits. I know the kids aren't doing homework, and it's just not realistic. No one just carries around a bunch of wood planks and builds forts.
And he's not entirely wrong.
I play Fortnite every single day on average for probably an hour or two every day. Maybe every now and then I'll be playing instead of getting some sleep. But, you know, a lot of times you can't go to bed unless you get that win.
Some athletes are losing a little more than sleep over the game as well.
More important than school and running. Especially running.
As you can see, this video game is literally taking the world by storm. So if you're one of the few that hasn't tried the Battle Royale, don't be scared to pick up a controller and get a dub. But maybe wait until after finals week if you're afraid to get addicted.
Fortnite is life, yes.
For Griffon Update, I'm Morgan Doyle.
Now do you see what I'm talking about? People are crazy about it.
You know who's crazy? Absolutely crazy is that comedian Marlon Wayans. He is downright hilarious.
Did you go to the show where he performed?
I did actually, and it was pretty hysterical.
I would have gone, but I got caught up in my Fortnite game and missed it.
Well, since you missed it, reporter Bo Baker caught up with some students to see their take on this White Chicks alum.
There was an amazing turnout at Marlon Wayans' comedy show, and I had to come out myself to see the amazing turnout and what everybody had to say about it.
Wayne Brothers has kind of been that big factor of all of the comedy that I've been a part of, so I've known all my life. So.
I've always been inspired by Marlon's career, and I always wanted to get it like a feel of like what he was like up close, and I always looked up to him as a celebrity and a hard worker as well.
A surprise opening act from Kansas City also caught the attention of some of the audience members.
He was a jerk, and he owned it. He knew how to come and approach. He knew the audience that he was approaching. He used the material to his benefit. So that was a pretty good way of doing things. He was dope.
It surprised me. He was surprisingly funny. He caught me off guard. He said some stuff that was like out of line, but it still made everybody comfortable.
Marlon Wayne's show was definitely entertaining, but everyone has to have a favorite part of the show.
Giving that last little speech to everybody, like, you are somebody, you can make it, and your goals aren't limited to just anybody else's mindset or expectation of you. So that was a pretty good part of the show. I mean, his jokes was funny, no doubt.
My favorite part is when he gave a little bit of background about his family. Like, I don't really know much about the Marlins, but it was just funny that he joked around about his relatives, just like, it reminded me of my relatives back at home.
I couldn't determine the best part of the event because the whole show was amazing. And I can't wait to see when Marlon Wayans comes back to Missouri Western. For Griffon Update, this has been Bo Baker.
Wow, I definitely missed a fun night.
Yeah, it was a good time. I have to tell you one of his jokes later, but I can't really tell you now because it's not really appropriate.
How about you tell me during this break?
On my honor, I will never betray my badge,
my integrity, my character, or the public trust.
I will always have the courage to hold myself
and others accountable for my acts. I will always uphold the Constitution,
my community, and the agency I serve.
My community and the agency I serve.
My community and the agency I serve.
My community and the agency I serve.
Okay, that was pretty funny. And I think we're back on.
Hey guys, you also know what's pretty funny, Morgan?
What's that?
Is when moms come into class and their little ones come in strolling after.
I applaud moms that come to class and keep their grades up while trying to maintain a family.
Yeah, I know that a lot of student moms are out there, and I know that it's hard, but I mean, my mom's pretty awesome, so I feel like she could juggle that too.
Reporter Devorah Horton chatted with a couple of moms to try and understand their lifestyle. Check out what they had to say.
Moms that go to school are really strong women because they can come to school and also go home and take care of their families.
So I started coming to school in 2010 whenever I was already a stepmother. Along the way, I became a mother to my 4-year-old. My oldest daughter is 12, and I go to school for the fact that I have children, and I want to prove to my 2 daughters that it can be done.
One mom tells how she coped with being pregnant and being in school last semester.
This semester, I was due with my 3rd child in the middle of the semester. So I had Ellie February 26th. I had to inform my professors ahead of time that I was being induced, and it was unexpected. So I had to get my homework from them and stay in communication with them. I only took 3 weeks off total. 2 of the weeks were actual lecture weeks when class was in session, and then it was spring break.
Another mom explains how time management is a big part of her going to school and raising her family as well.
It's hard. Time management is a huge thing. I have to make sure that I'm managing my time really well, and with working and having 2 kids and homework and everything, it gets challenging, but I just make sure that I set aside time.
This is Devorah Horton reporting for Griffon Update.
Man, moms are so cool with, oh, they juggle.
I couldn't even imagine being a mother and trying to finish my degree. I commend them for their hard work.
You know who else should be proud of their hard work? New York Times best-selling author Melissa De La Cruz.
If I'm completely honest with you, I have no idea who that is.
She came to Missouri Western for a public book reading. Reporter Hannah Williams can explain it better than I ever could. Here's what she had to say.
Spend the night. That is a pretty situation, isn't it? I'm sorry.
At the beginning of the show, we had a couple Missouri Western State University theater students put on a performance for the audience before the reading had begun.
Wow! If it isn't Carlos DeVille.
Hi, Mel. What's up?
Your mom's away this weekend, isn't she?
Yes, she's going to the spa.
The spa.
Melissa De La Cruz, who is New York Times bestseller, is known for writing over 30 young adult books.
Laid off from my job because I was still a computer programmer, and I got laid off. And when I got laid off, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna write. I'm just gonna try and figure out how to make a living at this. Because I was still.
Here is a former student at Missouri Western State University that is going to tell us why she attended the reading.
Hi, I'm Abigail Parr, and I'm a creative writing publishing major here at Missouri Western. Initially, it was because I was being offered extra credit, and I desperately needed it in one of my classes. But at the same time, I don't want to say I'm an aspiring writer. I am a writer. I write, and I am working on my first novel now because my dream has always been to be published. And when I heard that she was going to be offering advice on how you make it as a writer, I thought this is something I need to know.
Towards the end of the show, Melissa gave us a reading of her own work.
Putting himself in the line of fire would also mean allowing for the possibility of a final separation between them. And the thought.
Reporting for Griffon Update, I'm Hannah Williams.
Thank you, Hannah. Morgan, let's tell everyone what's happening on campus.
Check out the calendar and stay tuned for the Griffon Newscast and Bailey Sports Report after this message.
I've been where you fear to be. I've seen what you fear to see.
I've done what you fear to do. All of these things I've done for you.
I am the person you lean upon, the one you cast your scorn upon.
And the one you bring your troubles to. All these people, I've been for you.
All these people, I've been for you.
All these people I've been for you.
All of these people I've been for you.
One out of every 4 car accidents are caused by texting and driving.
Wait, what did you just say?
You heard me. That's better. Keep your eyes on the road.
Today we're going to be doing something special and taking a peek inside the Communication and Journalism Department.
PR student Miley Lanham here joins us to discuss what her campaign has been for the Communications and Journalism Department.
So I am Miley Lanham, and I am a senior public relations student here at Western. This year, through 2 semesters, we took 2 classes, PR campaigns and PR practices, to create a campaign. So with this, we take on a client, and the first semester with PR campaigns, we develop and plan a campaign. This semester, our client was the Department of Communication and Journalism. So this semester, we are implementing the plans that we had last semester. We created and designed a department logo. We designed merchandise, like the t-shirts that you are wearing. We also designed promotional materials, such as posters to inform students about internships and things going on around campus, like study abroad opportunities, because our department is really good about studying abroad every summer. And then our goal of this campaign was to really increase brand awareness of the department and increase enrollment in the future within our department.
So you made these shirts. What was the thought going behind these shirts, and why did you just make them like you did?
So the sound wave actually says the Department of Communication and Journalism, because communication and journalism majors, we just speak, whether it's on TV or just anything. That's what we do. That's what we're good at, because we feel we're good at it. So I wanted to do that because it's not just to one major, it's to all of the department. And we would get a lot of questions from it, which would thus result in people asking about our department. So I was just like, why not?
And then the sound waves behind, that's actually your voice, correct?
Yes.
And so what do you enjoy about being in the PR department?
I like that there is so much that we can do. So we do journalistic writing, we do photography, we design a lot. We can event plan. There's just so many options and so much that we do, and this campaign really showcases that because we did design the logo. We did the writing on the rack cards that we hand out to prospective students. We did the photography on the rack cards, so it really showcases all the skills of our department in general, not just PR students.
Awesome. Well, if anybody has any questions, they can go to the PR office or communications journalism office?
They can contact Jennifer Jackson at jjackson63@missouriwestern.edu.
At Missouri Western, it's on us.
It's on us, all of us, to take responsibility and stop sexual assault.
To create a campus environment where everyone is safe and feels safe.
To realize that ending sexual assault is not an individual endeavor,
but a collective effort.
To understand that it affects not only students, but faculty and staff members alike.
At Missouri Western, we take action.
It's on us to look out for each other and not look the other way.
We step up and say something.
We support survivors. We are going to be a part of the solution and not the problem.
It's on us to intervene and take responsibility.
So take action because we can and will make a difference.
At Missouri Western,
it's on us
to put an end to sexual assault.
Begin by taking the pledge at itsonus.org.
We need to care before it happens.
From nationwide protests to active shooter drills, mass shootings have put the nation on edge. What steps have Missouri Western taken to prepare for an active shooter? We'll go in depth as this Griffon Newscast special report, Gun Violence in America, starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mary Beth Rosenauer. Mass shootings seem to have become more common in the United States. After a February 14th school shooting in Parkland, Florida killed 17 people, students decided enough was enough. On March 24th, students and teachers across America gathered to protest gun violence. Griffon News' Chloe Rain was at a St. Joseph March for Our Lives and has this report.
On March 24th, Missouri Western professors, students, and St. Joseph citizens marched along with the nation in one of the largest single-day protests in the United States history. Around 300 people marched in the March for Our Lives protest on the North Belt Highway because of a shared concern about gun violence in schools. One of the student speakers was Central High School junior Jessica Miller, who said Americans need to take action to prevent shootings from happening in the future.
It's important for people to realize that it's about more than them. We need to be able to look at the Florida shooting, and when I look at that, I see all the things they went through, like the group chat, where they see their dead friend on the floor, and I'm like, that can't be a thing. Like, we need to care now, before it happens. We gotta prevent it.
Since 2012, the Sandy Hook shooting, there has been 290 school shootings. It starts off with activism, like how you saw on Saturday, activism, spreading the word out so that politicians get the message. And if they are unable to receive this message, then they will be replaced. March for Our Lives is not about banning guns. It's about just promoting a culture of gun safety.
The march was organized by Western professors Brooksy Kluge and Melinda Kovacs, as well as the on-campus group Women of the Future. This is Chloe Ryan with the Griffon News.
Student and adult activists across the country continue to work for common sense gun reform. One proposed solution to these mass shootings has been to make gun-free zones a thing of the past. Lawmakers are working to make that a reality in the state of Missouri. According to the Kansas City Star, the Guns Everywhere bill would allow people to carry concealed weapons in places like churches, bars, daycares, and college campuses. Private businesses could choose to prohibit guns if they wanted, but colleges and universities would not have that option. Proponents of the bill say it would curb violent crimes on campus in Missouri, but many think it wouldn't make people safer.
I think with the increasing danger in public properties, I think that it's a necessity. I know that people get scared of guns, but I think when there's a presence of guns, that fear drives out the opportunity for people to attack.
Be from high school to college, if anyone has the right to bring a gun, that's not a school I want to be at. I mean, it's not a place for it. This is a place of learning.
If a bad person is going to come
shoot someone up. They're not going to see a gun-free zone and say, okay, I can't bring any gun in here. I think all the good people should be able to protect themselves at all times.
In wake of the recent gun violence in schools and on college campuses across the nation, many are curious as to what steps Missouri Western has taken to prepare for the unthinkable. The Griffon News decided to take a closer look. Here's what we found.
Around 120 Missouri Western faculty and staff were given active shooter training on April 10th and 11th. The training instructed professors how to best hide their class when in an active shooter situation, as well as who to contact if they hear gunshots at the school.
We've also done, a month or so ago, we did some stop the bleed training for severe injuries that we targeted towards our police department, people in the physical plant, people in housing, people that most likely be there where something like that would happen. We constantly do that. We do suicide prevention training for the faculty at the start of the year. Our police department, right now we have several officers out doing, I think, what they call critical incident training, dealing with people that may have mental illnesses or something like that.
One example brought up during the training was a recent situation in which someone on campus contacted the Western Police Department because there was a suspicious person who looked like he was holding a gun. The suspicious object turned out to be a tire iron.
Figured that out literally within 45 seconds of the call. But there was a certain social media barrage afterwards. We take security seriously, but we can't do it alone. We need people to help participate in it. If they see something wrong, we want to know about it. If they see something brewing, we want to know about it.
With photographer Chloe Ryan, this is Elijah Smith reporting for the Griffon News.
Our thanks to the reporting team that put that story together. And thank you for watching. As always, you can find out more about all the headline-making stories at Missouri Western by picking up a copy of the Griffon News or logging on to thegryphonnews.com. I'm Mary Beth Rosenauer. Thanks again for watching the Griffon Newscast.
I'm very sorry.
Please don't say that. Please don't say that.
Your brother suffered critical head trauma, extensive cerebral hemorrhaging. We did everything we could. I'm sorry we couldn't save him.
It's all my fault. Shouldn't have driven.
You should have left the driving to someone else. The test showed a significant level of alcohol in your blood. We've contacted your family. They should be arriving shortly.
Welcome to the Griffon Update Sports Report, your place to catch up on all Griffon sports. I'm your host, Bailey Ketchum. First up, baseball had an exciting weekend at home against Lindenwood. The first game didn't go as expected in their doubleheader on Thursday night, but they changed it around in the second game to win 7-4, and then turned right around to play the final game of the series on Friday that resulted in a wonderful performance by pitcher Jake Miller and left the Lions scoreless and the Griffs with an 8-0 victory. The team travels to Central Oklahoma this weekend for a 3-game series. In other sports news, softball also had a busy weekend at home with a sweep against Fort Hays State on Thursday and then splitting their series the next day against Nebraska Kearney. They finished off their senior day with a 3-0 victory. The Western softball team celebrated 4 Griffon seniors, Riley Wilson, Barbara Billingsley, Shelby Atwell, and Rebecca Mueller. The ladies travel to Washburn and Emporia this weekend. For more updates on the weekend, track and field had 2 away meets this weekend. Jordan Garr won shot put in both meets, Mallory Vaughter won the long jump, Hannah Williams won the 400 for the 3rd time this year, and Graham Burrish won the men's 400. For the upcoming schedule, track and field have the Kansas Relays in Lawrence, Kansas from Thursday to Saturday, and men's and women's golf both start the MIAA Championships next week in Kansas City. That's all we have for you today in sports. For more information on Griffon Athletics, check out GoGriffons.com.
Thanks, Bailey. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. You can can watch our show on MWSU TV Channel 12.
You can also catch us on the Griffon Update Vimeo and YouTube channels and the Missouri Western Student Media homepage.
And make sure you check out the next edition of the Griffon News.
From all of us here at Griffon Update, thank you for watching.